Okay, so the reason why I went on the trip is because I enjoy volunteering and learning about new experience, just experiencing different things and learning from different people and just expanding my horizons and always trying to keep my brain off center so I don't get, too rutted into any sort of conventional thinking. What I liked the most about it was as we were like it was interesting and when we went to the courthouse because we were lucky enough that we got all different types of domestic violence. So it was a good sample size because that was and then that was one of the things that I really got me the most was I knew that domestic violence wasn't just, a man hitting a woman or that it wasn't just physical and all these other things, but it's still like ingrained in my head that that's like the only thing. And so what the trip helped me is to always keep in mind that there are very different dynamics. So basically any close relationship that you have and that is unhealthy can be domestic violence. And that's what it boiled down to was learning how to have healthy relationships on any level. Uh, and then another thing that I got to was important to me too that I learned or that I enjoyed, I should say, is how when we were doing stuff like, for instance, at Sarah's Inn and at Can Win, of doing these little tasks, but understanding like it's kind of like understanding that because we had such a big group, it's kind of like replicating ourselves, or if they were able to replicate themselves. So it brought me a lot of joy, like being able to do the like just doing even if it was simple work. I like thinking about how much this expedites whatever it is that they're doing, because it's like basically doing a week's amount of worth, relatively speaking, within a day. So I think that's pretty cool. And plus, it helps them to focus on what they're good at rather than having to deal with, having to do all those menial tasks. Another thing that I really liked was the community at Can Win. And what I mean by that is they're very like the fact that, well, like, first of all, that pretty much everybody that worked there was Asian. So I think that's really cool with somebody, especially somebody who doesn't, if it's somebody who doesn't know the language very well, or even if they do, it's very comforting to get help from people that look like you. It's easier to, have to speak on the same ground. And what I also like too was when we went to the dinner, how they even had their own what is it their own broadcasting network for that they were shooting the banquet for. And I think that's pretty cool, especially in this country, how important it is to be able to control your own narrative, because a lot of the times in this country, how it's mostly a white run or Jewish run media, that other denominations don't get their story heard the right way, or it gets told by other people. So to me, that's very important. And the one thing that I'm going to take back from this experience is, the importance of those teaching moments, whether it's in a structured environment or not, the importance of teaching moments of talking to children about healthy relationships and about how they view relationships. So to help prevent stuff like that, so we can save our resources to deal with other things or to enrich everybody's life, rather than simply putting the money into solving a problem, which which can easily be fixed. And I like the saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So I hope that this helps inspire you to go on the next ASB trip, as well as instead of gives you the empowerment of doing what you can to change your community, rather than simply going towards an organization, which there's nothing wrong with that, or looking towards the government or somebody else to do it, start off by thinking what you can do to make that change before you start going into other people's systems or trying to, get other people to help you do it. Figure out what you can do and then the people around you and just build off that. All right. Peace.